On the news tonight, Ogun State government assures residents of Owa Kurudu of speedy intervention to curtail erosion. National Assembly receives input on National Youth Development Commission. Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news tonight. My name is Joel Bukbola. Now the news in details. Erosion menaced the bedeviling residents of Owa Kurudu community in Ijebu ode local government will soon be addressed through the intervention of the state government and the World Bank, which has agreed in principle to curtail the erosion threat. Correspondent report that Ogun State Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Ola Olesonya, gave the assurance when he led government delegation to the erosion site. The report.
The erosion menace in Owa Kurudu has been a festering sore which has consumed over 50 houses, while more than 10 landlords have died of various ailments due to the shock of losing their properties. This huge gully erosion, which keeps expanding during the rainy season, has been a thorn in the flesh for residents, with several houses under threat while the community live in palpable fear. Government officials at various levels have visited the site in the past, but this time the Ogun State government says it is partnering with the World Bank to end the over 2-decade agony of residents of the community.
We visited this place. Various government officials have visited this place in the time past. We have a whole load of information about this place. Now, we are ready to move on. The governor is determined to solve this problem. The World Bank is committed to support us in solving this problem. So we are here to carry the community along on this milestone we've achieved, making sure that the funding for it and the commitment is just like we are ready to go for this project. And to carry the local government along too, so that the community will own the project, local government will supervise, and we all supervise the project together. So we are here today to reassure the community of the commitment of the government to solve this problem. And I can assure you that very soon the project will commence. Can count months, all right? The financial plan and the financial commitment will commence after June. That is when we're going to be talking about the Naira and Kobo component. That is something after June. And but before we reduce to Naira and Kobo component, we need to agree on the engineering design. What is the solution we are looking at? The community must agree on the solution, that is the solution they want. Apart from what we think is the solution, they must agree that that's the solution. Once we all agree, both the community and the government, we all agree this is the solution, then we'll present it to the World Bank. The World Bank will agree also, and we'll look at the cost implication, which the World Bank has signed. They've given us approval in principle to fund this project.
The role of the local government is to draw the attention of the state, because as you know, financing this sort of project is beyond the capacity of the local government, and where there is proper synergy, things will be done. So our role is to draw the attention of the state government to it, and under the leadership of the governor has been very proactive, in doing this, and that's what you can say.
The visit of government officials is not new to the residents who have suffered untold hardship due to the erosion. They are only hoping that government will walk the talk and change their narrative.
Like many houses, this is where I'm doing my fish pond. It has collapsed. My uncle too, this is where he's doing his bakery. It has collapsed. It has affected so many businesses like that. Even the landlords, which are my fathers, they are my fathers, which I know them. Because of this, it's not more erosion, it's flood. Because if it is erosion, that means it's still following one path. But now, it makes houses collapses. So it's more like flood. If you are here when the rain starts, you will know that this is terrible. Even people sleeping in the house, they have to leave their rooms and go and squat with somebody, so that when the rain stopped, they will have rest assured that there won't be any problem. Because the moment you are inside your house, you are hearing every fall of erosions. So automatically you'll be scared that you don't know what can happen in the next minute. But with this present government, we are pleading, because we don't want a situation whereby they will be coming just to look at it and they will go.
The erosion menace has adversely affected economic activities in the area. The empty street attests to that.
The federal government's decision to suspend the planned removal of fuel subsidy has generated diverse reactions, with industry experts calling for attention to be shifted to alternative means of transportation that requires less consumption of petroleum products and sustainable planning. This formed part of discussion among guests on NTA's Current Affairs program, Good Morning Nigeria, by dissecting the issues of fuel subsidy removal. Here are the details of that report.
An apprehension of the labor union and the public stalled the process, with the federal government specifically saying this would worsen the sufferings of Nigerians. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria, however, say Nigeria as a nation must look beyond oil and gas and find alternatives in energy generation that are cleaner, safer and cheaper, hence saving more of the nation's financial reserve in foreign exchange.
What happens when the oil is no longer the darling and no longer give us the revenue that we need? How we put in place the things that we need for Nigeria's future? And that, I think, is an element of the conversation that is not really being focused on. We spent all these different sums over the years on subsidy. What about Nigeria's future? How are we planning for it? How are we preparing for it?
One of the ways to brace Nigerians up is to say, look, at periodic intervals, you're going to have price reviews. And there's a mechanism for price review. There's a minor review, major reviews. It happens 5 years. We should also have the same templates in the petroleum sector.
Other guests, however, noted that for government to see the process of subsidy removal through, there must be a conscious effort to engage all sectors of the economy, which they believe will further influence and approach eventual results of the fuel subsidy removal by the government.
Reform should be consensual. It has to be to involve everybody. It's not going to be based on vested interest, whether the oil importers want it, multinationals want it, but the citizens must also be factored into it.
They also noted that even as the process is being reviewed, government must, as a matter of core importance, find all possible measures to revive local refineries and also audit the amount of petroleum products being imported into the country. In Abuja, Daniel Aderiye, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has received input from stakeholders for a legislation to establish the National Youth Development Commission, which will coordinate the Youth for National Development. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Mushola reports.
Available statistics show that Nigerian youths have a significant national population. Therefore, harnessing the potential embedded in this group of people is the focus of the bill. Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila is of the opinion that all attempts to coordinate youths for national development must be supported.
For the youth to be at the table of conversations and discussions that surround the development of Nigeria, certain actions have to be taken. But one of them is the passage of this bill.
The establishment of a commission as this will provide social and economic focus to Nigerian youth towards impacting positively on the national economy.
For the Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, legislations that can lead to duplication of responsibilities should be avoided.
This scenario, we believe, will not be healthy for the ministry and the entire nation at the moment, owing to the economic reality.
We do not agree that this will be a duplication of effort. Rather, we see it as complementing the efforts of the ministry.
So the SSA has no problems. After all, Mr. President is only interested in the welfare of the Nigerian youth.
The inputs from this public hearing will determine further legislative action on the bill. From the National Assembly, Dayo Mushola, NTA News.
You're still watching the news at 7 on NTA Ijebu ode. The news continues after this message.
Atiba University, AU, in God we trust. Atiba University, knowledge, our light to the world. Knowledge we seek, knowledge we give, knowledge our creed, knowledge our key to change our world, make it a better place. God has strength, knowledge our key. Atiba University, AU, in God we trust. Atiba University, knowledge our light to the world. We learn to live, we learn to lead, we learn to excel.
You're welcome back. The Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association says it will continue to ensure the provision of quality and affordable education for children of personnel. Salamatu Yaya stated this while laying the foundation for the construction of one block of 6 classrooms in Ojo Barak, Lagos. Here are the details of that report.
Our model nursery and primary school, Ojo Barak, was established in 1985 by late Mariam Babangida to support educational needs of the Barak children. The national president, Naoa, said the project, which is one of her pet projects, was a long-awaited one, considering the need for expansion of the school facility because of the increasing population of pupils in the school. The groundbreaking is seen as a positive step towards enhancing the standard of education in the country. When completed, the project will provide, amongst other facilities, an ICT laboratory and a 500-sitting capacity assembly hall.
My vision as the 22nd President of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association is sustaining legacies and upholding the tenets of unity and service. What I intend to do is to ensure that the standard is improved on and that we have a truly model nursery and primary school that can compete with any standard private or even government established institution.
In a related development, Mrs. Yahaya also presented relief items to widows who lost their husbands while in active service. In Lagos, Ruth Ariel Samuel, NTA News.
To end the news, there is a recap of our major stories. Ogun State government has assured the residents of Erosion Rabbit community in Owa Kurudu in Ijebu ode local government of prompt intervention to address the menace. The National Assembly has received input on National Development Commission. And that does it on the news tonight. The news continues in Yoruba language with Abiodun Ajibola immediately after the break. Thanks for staying with us.